So in our last video, I showed you guys how to make this spinning background animation, and in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to take it a little bit further and make your own retro title animation like this. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is King Sam, and I make motion graphics and graphic design related content right here on YouTube. And if that's something that interests you, please like, share, and subscribe. I'll be really grateful. The easiest way to contact me is by joining my motion design community. The link is in my video description. Say hi, contact, and join this amazing group of people just like yourself. And without talking too much, let's jump straight into the video. But now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our text tool here, and I'm just going to type in something. Let's use old school. Okay, and let's just move this down a little bit like this. This I want it. Now we're just going to align it to the center of our composition here. Okay, so now I'm going to open up my text layer here, and I'm just going to add an animation to the position right here. And for my position here, I'm going to take it to 120. Then I'm going to open up my ring selector here, and I'm going down to 1 second. And I'm going to change the offset to 100. And I'm making a keyframe right here. Now I'm going to begin on my timeline here, and I'm changing this to -100. Now I'm going to open up advanced. For the shape here, I'm changing it to ramp up, and for the ease high and ease low, I'm changing it to 50% for the two of them. So if you play it back, you can see the motion is very smooth because of your ease high and ease low. Yeah. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to left click here. I'm going to pre-compose the layer, and I'm going to call the layer text animation. Okay, now I'm going to duplicate the layer, and for the layer on top here, I'm going to hide it. The layer under here, I'm going to rename it text animation shadow. I'm going to my effect and preset panel here, and I'm going to type in CC radial blur, and I'm going to apply it on my shadow layer right here. Okay, so now for the type, I'm going to change it to fading zone. For the amount, I'll change it to 10, and for the quality, I'm changing it to 30. Now what I'm going to do for this my center here, I'm just going to move it to a place that, it's a little bit, it looks more like a shadow. So I think something like here is going to be cool. So I'm just going to my effect and preset panel again, and I'm going to type in levels, and I'm going to apply it here. I'm going to change the channel to alpha, and I'm just going to drag it inward like this. So you have something like this. Now let's unhide our first text layer here, and next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to type in seal. Now we can add a seal. So I want the color to be somewhat dark brownish like this, and I'm also going to add seal to our top layer here, and I want to make the top layer very close to this color we have. So let's bring this down a bit like this. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come to around 15 frames here, and I'm going to my shadow layer here, and I'm going to make a keyframe on my amount, and I'm just going to move it down to around here. And for this one like this, now I'm going to change the initial amount to 0. So what I'm going to have is the shadow popping up on the back like this. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to parent my shadow to my animation layer here. Now I can open up the position of my main text layer here, and I'm going to make a keyframe on the position, and I'm just going to move it down like this. Now holding down shift, and I'm going to use my arrow key to just adjust it something like this. So when you play it back, it just adds a bit more motion to the animation. So I can select these two, I can hit F9 to easy ease, open up my graph editor, and I'm just going to drag this place inward like this. In case your graph editor doesn't look like this, you can click and go to edit speed graph. So next thing I'm going to do is make sure nothing is selected down here. And what we're going to do is we're going to just go get our rectangle tool, and I'm just going to draw simple rectangle with no stroke around it. And I'm just going to duplicate this rectangle, Ctrl D. And for the next one, I'm just going to bring it out a little bit, and I'm just going to make it smaller like this. So we have these two rectangles here. Now let's centralize our anchor point first, and let's rotate it like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it forward here. Make sure it's not touching it. I'm going to make a keyframe on my position. Going to move down, let's say it's somewhere around here, and I'm just going to let's select it again, and I'm just going to drag it all the way through like this. I think I can just move this one down to around 2 seconds here. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to my effect and preset panel here, and I'm just going to search set matte, and I'm just going to apply it to this layer right here. And I'm going to change my take matte from, I'm going to change it to my text animation layer. And another thing I'm just going to do is I'm going to change the color. Let's pick the color of our text, and I'm just going to find something lighter. So let's say something like this, and let's play it back, and that is looking amazing. Now finally we are going to create our stars. So let's just look for the point that this our O starts here. So this is where our stars will most probably start shining from. So if you want to make stars, just come to our shape tool here. You can see we have a star tool here, and you can just draw a simple star. Let's make sure nothing is actually selected here, because we're going to draw it inside this our other shape here. So let's draw a star like this, and I'm going to change the seal to white. Now if we open our polystar here and open our polystar path, you can change the points from 5 to 4. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're just going to reduce the internal radius so it looks something like this. Now I can just take this and I'm just going to move it to the top of my O here. Then I'm going to open up our scale property. Let's move this back somewhere so you can start somewhere around here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a keyframe on our scale here, and I'm going to move it down to somewhere in the middle between 1 second and 2 seconds here. I'm going to change this down to 0, and I'm going to come here and I'm going to change this also to 0. Now Shift R to open up your rotation property, and from the beginning here we're going to make a keyframe on our rotation here at 0, and we're going to come down to around, let's say, 3 seconds here, and I'm going to make another point here at 1. Now let's hit F9 so we can easy ease. And another thing you should obviously do, because I forgot, was you should make sure your anchor point is always at the center of your shape. So for me, that is not the center of my shape, but I can just hold down Control and double click this place. The anchor points will go down to the center of my shape here. And I can just move this shape back here. So another thing I can just do now is I can just duplicate this a bunch more times, and let's go back to the part where I can actually see them. I can move this one down here. Okay, now let's arrange them properly. So for the second one here, I'm really going to move it down here. Next one, let's just use this one. I'm going to move it up here And the last one, I'm going to put it at the end of this L here. Okay, so I can just make them equal distance so that it doesn't start at the same time. And here, let's reduce our time distance and let's play it back. Okay, so I think the final thing I'm going to do for this now is I'm going to go to my text animation and my text shadow here, open up my opacity, and I'm just going to make strength on the opacity. So I'm going to move down to where they almost start moving, so that's here, and I'm going to move my opacity keyframes there, and from here I can just change the two opacities down to 0. Okay, I think I can still do something better with that. Let's move it down a little bit more. I am not liking the fact that the stars are dragging it, the shine through. Let's do that again. Okay, and I think I like this.
Thank you for watching that video. What do you think? Let me know in my comment section. And now that I've learned how to make this amazing animation, you can also learn how to make this animation right here or this animation right here, and I'll catch you in that video. So from now to the next time, remember, improve every day, grow constantly, and dream endlessly. Love you guys.